So it seems to me that 23andMe tried, Mr. Savage, to come up with a policy to protect its consumers, but there's little to guarantee that the next buyer or the one after that won't abuse that policy, is there?
Senator and Ranking Member, 23andMe has required as part of the sale of the assets of the company that any buyer of the company must comply and adopt the privacy policy and consents that 23andMe have in place today.
So I didn't think I'd ever say this in this room, but does the rule against perpetuities apply?
Congressman, can you clarify that for me?
I wish I've tried to forget every aspect of that course in law school, but what I'm suggesting to you is 2 or 3 buyers removed, your best intentions don't mean much, do they?
Senator and Ranking Member, my understanding is that, 23andMe is doing everything we can to ensure that the next buyer adopts the policies and consents of 23andMe. While I can't actually testify to their future intentions, both are, American institutions with experience in genomics and, are committed to protecting that data and continuing.
Unless we had a federal law relative to this issue that applies to future transactions, your best intentions don't mean much as far as I'm concerned, and don't take it personally. So, Professor Cohen, there was a best-selling book a few years ago called The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. Fascinating book. Story of an African-American woman who died in 1951 of cervical cancer in Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken. A sample of her tumor generated what is known as the HeLa cell line. That cell line was mass-produced and sold to laboratories all over the world. It's been used in scientific research, including research into cancer, the human genome, and the development of the polio vaccine. It is still being used today. Famously, Henrietta Lacks never consented to the use of her cells in this way. And despite the vast sums of money the cell line has generated, her family's never seen a dime of profits. Part of what's being sold by 23andMe is a collection of biological samples submitted by consumers who wanted their DNA examined. They may have consented to some use of their samples, but I question how informed it actually was. And there's no guarantee a new owner won't change how those samples are used. Are you familiar with this story?
I am, Senator.
Is there anything we can learn from it in this application?
I think to learn for the importance of affirmative consent, and again, affirmative consent that can explain as much as possible what you want to do with the material. And again, we still haven't had an answer why at this stage they're not going back to all of their customers and asking, can you consent to the transfer of your data to this new buyer? It's a very simple thing that the company could do. Why aren't they doing it?
Mr. Savage, why aren't you doing it?
Senator, 23andMe believes we've obtained the consent from our customers, and when the customer signed up to the service, they have agreed and affirmatively to consent to our privacy in terms of service, which specifically says that we, in the event of a bankruptcy sale, that we can actually transfer their data.
I think what Professor Cohen is suggesting is that there's more that could be done to protect your consumers. Would you consider it?
I can take that suggestion back to our team, Senator.
I hope you will. Professor Gottberg, I guess my conclusion from your testimony was that bankruptcy code really didn't envision what we're talking about here.
So the bankruptcy code treats, it respects law that exists outside of bankruptcy just the same in bankruptcy proceedings as outside. So any legal prohibitions that apply outside bankruptcy also apply inside bankruptcy. So in a way, the bankruptcy code did anticipate that. It just doesn't introduce new substantive law when a company files for bankruptcy. There's not new prohibitions that exist.
But what you say is, in your testimony, current bankruptcy law provides some oversight that can prevent the worst privacy policy abuses in bankruptcy sale, but it does not prohibit the sale from taking place. Placing a prohibition on bankruptcy sales would simply push them outside bankruptcy proceedings where there are fewer protections. The best policy would make any restrictions on the sale of personal consumer data universally applicable. It's time for us to legislate, isn't it?
I would say if you want to protect consumers from having their personal consumer data bought and sold, you need to do that.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.